How's it going? So I think it's about mid-January, something like that, 2018. I decided, I knew anyway I was probably going to talk about what happened in the United Kingdom, in the UK. Went to Wales and different parts of England over Christmas and the New Year, drove around, worked with some people, worked on the land. I do these videos for a couple of reasons. One, for other people that, they might resonate with, or they get something of interest and they think, wow, that I learned something, so on, maybe. As you know from the viewing figures, I have a huge audience, so I affect vast amounts of people on the planet, so I'm happy to continue to do so. I shouldn't mock myself. But also it's to try and, they say if you want to learn something, write about it. So by speaking about these things or writing about these things, it helps me to align my own understanding of what's going on and think things through, bed it in for myself, and also have a record of my thoughts. So that's another big part of this. So I'll probably put these in more than one video because a lot happened and I don't want it to be one big long huge whatever rambling video, because some of my videos ramble anyway. So here we go. I'd recorded a video called, I think, Dragons and Snakes before Christmas. That had been going on for a few months, of the work with interdimensional dragon and snake energy and beings. So fast forward to the 20th of December. On the 20th of December I left Dublin, and probably 2 days before that I was falling asleep one night and I began to speak a different language. I just started speaking and a different language came through, probably only for 20 seconds. And then my mind came in. I thought, what are you doing? Like, why, the intellect just took over and analysed. You're talking shit. Like, you're trying to make up a language now, all that kind of stuff. Because I know there's a woman I work with, hello Valerie, who speaks a number of light languages. And I've worked with, I remember another woman in a Divine Feminine initiation in October 2016. There was a woman who worked with me and used the light language and connected in. To look in her eyes and bang, I was just hypnotized, and this language came through her and it kind of realigned me and I was just grounded, poof, and something had shifted. It was amazing. So, and we're all aware of, most of us are aware of light languages. A light language, for those who aren't, is a language supposedly that comes from, say, your higher self, or you might be channeling another entity, another being, or your higher self more likely, or a language, say, from Sirius, the Pleiades, or any other star system or being. Who knows? But it's kind of soul to soul. It's not really for the conscious mind. Sometimes we get an awareness of what was said. Often we have no idea. That doesn't really matter because it's going to the soul, it's going to the DNA, to the core, or to a certain chakra, seal, and so on. So I became quite conscious in the car and I thought, oh, this is all nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Fell asleep, kind of forgot about it. And then I left Dublin. So work had finished. I was now free. I was on the road for the next 2 weeks or so. I had no real commitments or wasn't tied to anything, no real pressure or stress, and happy as always to get out of Dublin and to get out of Ireland. On the road, I'm leaving Dublin, I'm passing Wicklow, and I begin to speak this language again. Quite powerfully, I'm shouting, I'm driving along the motorway, I'm shouting, I start to sweat. I'm purging, I have to pull in at the side of the road, so I'm purging all this kind of darker energy, which my understanding is to clear this vessel, clear the conduit, get out any heavier stuff so that channel can come through. And it sounds kind of Chinese. At the end of this video, there is a channeled message in the dragon language, so you can have a listen to that. And I send a message to Valerie, I record a message in this language to get her immediate opinion, and she sees a golden dragon language. The language just comes through and through, and then it settles and I'm basically kind of babbling away to myself in this language, not really sure what it's saying, but it's really coming from the heart chakra, from the chest area, the higher chest, upper chest. And then I have to work with a woman in Wicklow. I'm on my way to Wicklow, so I have to do a session with her. I do an energy session with her. The language comes through with her. She mentions a hill nearby called Tara Hill, not the Hill of Tara. So previously I had been at the Hill of Tara with Valerie and we'd done some work, energy work. We met Faeries there, we met different beings, we ignited an energetic cairn, we kind of cleared energy from the land and so on. That was about 2 weeks prior. So I think, Tara Hill, I've got to go there. So it's 5 minute drive, 10 minute drive from this woman's house. As I drive towards this hill, what I may have mentioned in the Dragons and Snakes video was we had seen, or Valerie had seen, I had communication. I don't see as much, but I had communication with ferries and a ferry and 3 ferry ships that were, what's the word? Anchored off Bray seafront. 3 gold ferry ships. So this was maybe a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks beforehand. So we were aware of these. We had ongoing communication with these. So fast forward, I'm driving to Tara Hill, and I pass by a pub called the Golden Anchor. Golden ferry ships, and we had been told that one of these ships was coming with me to the UK. So I'm on the road to the UK bit by bit. So I walk up Tara Hill, and I'm aware that there are ferry men following me. Now these are not like Disney ferries. They're more ancient beings, kind of hard to describe, more kind of warrior-like or, forest-like, not the kind of fluffy Cinderella-y type thing. So I walk up there and the language is kind of babbling out of me. I'm on my own. It's a kind of rainy, cloudy day. There's nobody around. And I veer off a path, and then I start to kind of shout, start to preach, if you like, in this language. And tens, if not hundreds, of warrior men came out of the forest and surrounded me to hear whatever it was that I was saying or that was being channeled through me. These were not in 3D, these were 4th to 5th dimensional, so they're not solid, but you're aware in your mind's eye, you can see them, and you can see maybe what they're wearing or what they look like. Very powerful experience. I carry on up the hill. I'm now aware that there are the group of fairies, and there are this huge tribe, army of warrior beings, divine feminine beings that are following me. So I carry on up the hill, and then I spot an area that I'm just drawn to off this path. Go down there, still babbling away in this language, and find what's an energetic spot that feels right to be at. I take off my shoes and socks, as I tend to do in these places, to ground myself and earth myself and connect to, and out of respect for the beings or the energy point that I'm at. And I put my hand on the tree, and the language comes through, and I talk away in this language. Then move to shoes and socks back on to what's not an ancient cairn, but a mound of rocks, and I was aware that there was a dragon within that. So I stand on top, and I again shout out. This language just comes through me. I'm not consciously thinking of anything. I just get out of the way and I observe, and the mouth moves and the language comes through. And I was aware of 2 or 3, if not more, dragons that awoke, that would stretch their legs and wings and come to life energetically. And all these warrior beings as well. And that was it. I then made my way back to the car, and as I got into the car, right in front of me was a red robin. Now the red robin, I'll come back to in another video, can relate to the blood sacrament, or the blood of Christ. So I'll touch on that maybe down the road. But also that of any of this work, anywhere we've gone, there is always a red robin at the end of our work. And as you listen to this series of these kind of UK videos, you'll hear red robin, red robin, red robin every single time as we finish. Red robin, there's the robin, there's the robin. At first it was just coincidence. We thought, oh, there's a robin. And then it was like, oh, there's another robin, there's another robin. The robin is here, the robin is here. My understanding at Tara Hill was these beings have always been there, but now is the time for them to work with us. So they followed me down into some of society here, and many came with me. Dragons, fairies, and warrior beings, warrior men. This was all divine feminine. This was all divine masculine. Coming to the UK for work in the UK at sites, energetic sites, sacred sites in the UK. I didn't plan this channeled message, and as I actually haven't actually recorded it just yet, I just know that there is something to say. There is something to come through. My only suggestion would be, sometimes it's good, I think, to play these a few times, 2 or 3 times, and it might be good to be in a place of stillness, not in traffic driving your car ideally, but just to be sat back and be present, be in your senses, not thinking, be totally present as much as you can, and then play it a few times and see what happens. Here we go.
Kuchimya kui hai hoinda. Hui kyumya ita. Duikyo kutimya chakyo hai hoikyo. Hamayawa. Hui kyoawa. Duikyo nuawan. Dekyoam tishwekyawa. Kuyma itawe. Duikyum. Kuikyaptum. Hui wa utekya. Nayatikyo atam. Uchamkya rinkyumma kutu uchamya. Huikyam. Duya koyam data watamia. Wanya kyam deum duikauka.
I hope that was of use or of interest. So that's the beginning. And in the next video I'll talk about arriving at Fishguard and being in Wales, the land of dragons. And being in Wales in the land of dragons on, I think it was National Robin Day as well. And I was on my way to meet a dragon queen, Joanna. Thanks for listening. Hope it was interest. Sign up to the newsletter. Subscribe.